Thanks, Mr. Chairman, and I want to second your remarks about the need for an accountability bill, which is, I think, making progress with very close bipartisan cooperation between our staffs and ourselves. And I want to thank the Secretary and the President for a very robust and profoundly significant budget. The VA is going through major changes as it looks toward the future and prepares for an even more challenging future so far as the needs of our veterans are concerned in areas of not only health care, but also jobs and job training and skill preparation and, of course, homelessness. And Connecticut, I am very delighted to say, is at the forefront of that effort. In fact, announced just last week that we have ended homelessness for veterans in Connecticut. And of course, that's a continuing effort. It's a milestone, not a finish line, and we need to continue to provide permanent housing for all of our veterans, not just a temporary or transition form of housing. This budget request focuses, fortunately, on a number of areas that I think are important, breakthrough priorities such as community health care, accountability, the appeals process. I also think that in terms of our medical care, the challenges of post-traumatic stress and the research and outreach that needs to be done need to be given priority. I hope that this hearing will be an opportunity to hear from you about more of the details of this proposal, but I also think that the vision for the future is tremendously important, not only this year, but looking beyond this year, just as you would at a company like Procter & Gamble, beyond this quarter, beyond this year, to think about what this enterprise is going to look like in 5 years and 10 years, because now is the time to build for the veterans who will be coming out of the service, and there'll be more and more of them over the next few years as we downsize our active force. So I thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you and from the veteran service organizations that perform such an important and vital role in keeping us informed about veterans' needs and making sure that all of us are held accountable. Thank you. I want to first just mention the elephant in the room, which is the potential hurdles and obstacles to approval of this budget in the potential gridlock and paralysis in the budget process overall. The VA illustrates to me the urgency of putting aside partisan differences, putting aside extraneous issues, and proceeding to a budget, regardless of what our colleagues in the House of Representatives may think about the budgeting process, and regardless of other issues relating to the Supreme Court or any other kinds of challenges that we face here. And I think that you've come here in good faith to argue for some really urgent priorities that must be met, and they are commendably a part of this budget. Earlier this year, the Hartford VARO reached out to me because they were informed that there were no additional hearing dates, travel board or teleconference dates for Hartford and the remainder of the fiscal year in terms of the appeals process. After my inquiry, the BVA additional teleconference date has been added, which I appreciate, but I think that that experience illustrates the importance of reforming the appeals process. The BSOs have focused on it, and I assume you agree it should be a priority.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And I also agree on the budget. I would tell you that this is my second budget at the VA, but I feel better this year than I have ever before about connecting our strategies with the budget, with resources, with the legislation required, and with the 12 priorities that we have listed for 2016. This is more than just a budget. This is the delivering of outcome for veterans. We need this budget in order to do that, but we also need the legislation and the other things that we've talked about as a group.
focusing for the moment on delivery of services to women veterans. There's a request for $515.4 million for gender-specific health care for women and nearly $5.3 million in total care for women, which recognizes the need to consider the growing female veteran population in our country and provide care that is both welcoming and efficient and proficient to meet their needs. I'm still concerned that the culture of the VA and the ability to welcome veterans, female veterans, and provide health care services to them in a sensitive and tailored manner may not be keeping pace with the number and the needs of those veterans. Could you please tell us how you intend to use the requested funding for women's health care to address, frankly, the pervasive feeling of many female veterans that the VA remains a male-focused culture and organization?
This is, I'm really glad you raised this, Senator Blumenthal. This is such an important topic to us. I really think like this will be one of the seminal issues of transformation that we will be held responsible for as people look back years from now. As you know, since 2000, the number of women veterans seeking VA health care services has doubled from 160,000 to over 447,000 in fiscal year 2015. So this is a major focus for us. We have enhanced care for women. We have designated women's health providers at every site where women access VA health care. Currently, 100% of our medical centers and 94% of our community-based outpatient clinics have at least one designated women's health provider. We need to get that to 100%. We've trained over 2,400 providers in women's health to ensure that every woman veteran has the opportunity to receive her primary care from a women's health provider. We have women veteran program managers, maternity care coordinators at every healthcare facility. We provide gynecological care, including maternity care, and 7 days of newborn care to all women veterans, either on-site, that's through 130 healthcare systems, or through care in the community. This is really a very important point to us, and we have to continue to make this transition over time because, as you've said, it's going to continue.
Thank you very much. My time has expired. I have other questions that I may submit for the record, but thank you and to your team for being here today. Thank you.